Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. I don't know how we got here, but September has arrived. So this year has seemed to go by really, really quickly, but here we are in September. And so we're going to take a look at the individual life path numbers, the forecast for September 2023 in this episode. Before we get into that, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to take a look at your personal numerology and let you know what I see. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Life Path 7. So for the month of September, you have some very fun, exciting, sort of change-oriented energy coming in for you in a big way. So you have the energy of the raccoon with your animal wisdom message. And then you also have the energy of the 5. And so I kind of want to talk about the 5 first, and then I'm going to sort of merge the two, right? Raccoon and the 5. So with the 5, let's just get this part out of the way. So with 5 energy, when it comes in a cycle, it can always bring some kind of change, transformation. We can kind of feel like the rug is sort of being shifted below our feet, and it's hard to get the footing until after that cycle has completed. And then we can look back over the cycle and be like, oh, okay, I see why that had to happen. I can see why that transformation had to occur, or that change. Sometimes the change is sort of expected. Sometimes it's unexpected. Sometimes it comes by divine intervention. Sometimes it comes by divine invitation, right? And so one's comfortable, one's more uncomfortable. And so it just kind of depends on our situation and where we've been continuing to get the invitation, but we've been ignoring it because we don't want to change. Sometimes that can bring the divine intervention. And so we can kind of see sort of like a tower moment occur where something is taken away, and then we are meant to figure out how to rebuild in its place. So that's always possible when there's a 5 cycle, right? That there's going to be some kind of shift. The 5 likes to come in, and wherever it is that we've become too restricted, too mundane, too sort of in a routine that's not serving us, the 5 likes to come in and spice things up, shift it up, right? Like make some changes, get us moving, sort of accelerate the timeline a little bit so we're not stuck. And so that can be incredibly uncomfortable, especially if we've gotten really cozy under that blanket. The 5 can come in and sort of rip that blanket off and be like, all right, let's go. So that can be a little bit not challenging. It's just one of those things where it's like it really is beneficial in the long run because, again, it helps us to get moving. It helps us to see new perspectives, expand, grow, step outside our comfort zone, experience new things. So it's great for that, but it can be a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit sort of head spinning, right? At least when we're moving through it. But the other side of the 5 that I love, right, is that beautiful energy of experiencing life with all of our senses. It really is this freeing energy. It's actually considered the freedom seeker in numerology, right? Because it wants to continue to expand and grow. It wants to see things, it wants to see different perspectives. It wants to experience different cultures, different belief systems, different whatever. It just wants to really, truly immerse itself in the experience of life and get as much out of this experience, this journey as possible. So when we have a 5 cycle, again, it's going to kind of put the pressure on wherever it is that we're holding ourselves back from that creative self-expression, exploration, seeing things, a little bit more outside the box or a little bit more unconventionally. Like if we're really set in a belief system, the 5 will come in and sort of shake that up a little bit, or it will confront us by, having people come in who have different belief systems. And then again, we're sort of in that situation where we have to experience, right, someone with different perspectives, and how are we going to handle that? And will that change our perspective or will it keep it the same, et cetera, et cetera. So the 5, again, is all about unconventionality, doing things differently, trying new things, seeing if we like it, see if we don't. When we look at the 5 energy, it's really sort of there's these sort of 2 extremes of the 5. There's the very overly restricted energy of the 5, and then there's the very overindulging energy of the 5. So one is like, living beyond your means, living in excess. And the other is like self-deprivation and being restricted, right? So the goal of the 5 is to meet in the middle and to experience life with all of its senses, but with focus and with, a goal in mind type thing. And so with this coming in, there's definitely something here where, if there's areas within your life, 7s, where you've sort of been overly critical to the point of that self-deprivation, where you're kind of holding yourself back because whatever the reason may be, right? Like self-doubt or, irrational fears, whatever it is that you might be holding yourself back from, the 5 is going to come in and confront you with that and probably put pressure on it and kind of help to push you, whether it's by invitation or divine intervention, to push you towards what it is that your soul wants to achieve in this lifetime. Because your soul didn't come here to be stagnant, right? Your soul wants to experience, wants to grow, wants to evolve, wants to, think unconventionally, because that's where the expansion and the growth happens. So you could find this month that you have many opportunities to sort of change the way you think about things, or the way that you experience things, or what you're willing to try, or how you're willing to express yourself. The 5 is also very much about acceptance and authenticity. So it wants everyone to show up in their own unique way, because that's where the flavor is, right? That's where the juiciness is. Otherwise, it's boring. And so, like I said, the 5 wants to come in and shake it up. It's like a dance party in the middle of the night type thing. So it can be a lot of fun, right? It can feel a little bit scattered, and it can be hard to get focused during this cycle. So what I would say is don't force anything, right? Just, again, with 5 energy, it's all about being adaptable. It's all about going with the flow, surrendering to what will present and where it's going to take you. So what I always say for people who are moving through a 5 cycle is it's like getting into a boat in the river and picking up the oars and just letting the river take you, and then seeing where you land. Once you land and you get grounded, then you can decide next steps. But during the 5 cycle, it's all about that sort of whirlwind exploration. And that can feel a little dizzying. It can feel a little disorienting, but try to go with it, right? Try to go with it as much as possible without trying to control the outcome too much. And so you also have Raccoon energy, which I love. This is so perfect for 5, to go with the 5 energy. So with raccoons, they're curious, they explore, they're open for anything. They really are not overly restrictive. There's this very sort of energy of almost like the Page of Wands, right? So it's kind of like new ideas, this free spirit, and this sense of enthusiasm about life. And it's so funny because I have this raccoon that sort of visits every night in my backyard, and I've named him Ralphie the raccoon. But he'll come and he'll visit, and not me, but just the backyard. And he's so fun to watch because he just has almost again, it's metaphorically speaking, but he's got this lust for life, right? He is very curious. He's kind of not afraid of anything. He's going to check things out. There's just this enthusiasm. I don't know. And also this all right, I'm up for anything type thing. And that's why they call them trash pandas, right? Because they'll pretty much eat anything, do anything. Which can get them into trouble, but there is definitely this freeing sort of spirit, this free spirit in there, right? And so that's really what is coming through for you all 7s. And especially with 7 energy, there's the 2 sides of the 7 as well. One can be overly restricted, too logical, too practical, too in the mind. And then there's the other side that's the very spiritual, very, the unseen, the ethereal, and can kind of be head in the clouds too much, right? And so for the 7, it's about being that bridge between those 2 worlds and bringing that ethereal, the ideas, the inspiration, the dreams, etc., down into the physical reality and creating something within the physical, and getting to the truth of something, right? So it can be for 7 sometimes that you can be a little overcritical of self, of others, right? Or too restrictive. So with this 5 energy coming in, and with Raccoon, it's really saying, where's your lust for life? Like what lights you up? Where's your passion? Where is it that you are holding yourself back from doing something, experiencing something, immersing yourself into something that has the potential to bring you a tremendous amount of joy, but you are holding yourself back for some reason? What is the reason? This is like for sort of like self-discovery, self-exploration, but what is the reason? And is it rational or irrational? And if it's irrational, how can you deconstruct it so that you can overcome it, so that you can embody that energy of Raccoon and embody that energy of that 5? And yeah, go to the dance party, go have fun, go dance, go let your spirit be free, experience. Yeah, so I love this energy for 7s. I really, really do, especially during a 7 universal cycle. And yeah, love it. So try to get the most of it. Like I said, it can feel a little disorienting because, like I said, it can be a bit more, it's very expansive. It's big energy. It's fast moving energy. There's not a lot of control with this energy. So try not to get too disoriented. Just go with the flow, see where it takes you, and try to say yes. Even when you want to say no out of fear, try to say yes and just see what the experience brings you. What's the worst thing that could happen? So, all right, I hope it's a great month for you, 7s. Take care. Bye for now.